Now, speaking of somebody that ass need to be in jail, let's talk about this creature from the Black Lagoon. Let's get into Russell Brand. So, Russell Brand is being accused of R wording and SA in the UK, multiple charges. So while he's should be dealing with that case and trying to prove his innocence, this moron decides to go on Megyn Kelly long-headed ass show and reveals that he had consensual sex with a 16-year-old. Let's get into this story. So shout out to Rolling Stone for this. Now, speaking of long-head ass Megyn Kelly, the actor addressed the allegation that he was taking advantage of 16-year-old girls, as the host put it. This is also the same woman who tried to move the goalposts when it came to the whole Trump thing and 14-year-olds or adults or whatever the case, that stupid shit she said. I was like, okay, then leave your child alone, because I'm sure she got kids. Leave your daughters alone with them, with these people in the regime. I guarantee you won't. So it's funny how they like to move the goalposts, but when it's one of theirs, they draw the line. So um yeah, so she brought up the whole thing about the 6-year-olds, and he said, I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30. He said, 30. When I was 30, I had sex with a 16-year-old. And so when I was 30, I always pegged him. He sounds like Veruca Salt from from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Oh, but anyway, so he said, I did sleep with a 6-year-old when I was 30. When I was 30, I was a very different person. Yeah, you was a grown ass man fucking a 16-year-old, where you should know better. Your frontal lobe is fully developed. I didn't even finish the sentence. I'm already tight. But I mean his quote, and I'm already annoyed. But it was just like, you're a 30-year-old man with a 16-year-old. Your frontal lobe was fully developed. You're well aware of what's going on when you're 30. Trust and believe, I was 30 once. But you trying to make excuses? Anyway, let me get into what he said, because in case y'all didn't hear it. So yeah, he said, I was a lot younger and I was an immature 30-year-old. This is what he said, adding that the age of consent in the UK is 16. Still doesn't excuse the behavior. That's literally like, oh, you waited till the legal age and then decided to pounce on this girl. But what if they moved the goalposts and was like, okay, the legal age is 14, legal age is 10, legal age is 8. We moved the goalposts. So does that excuse the behavior? Because my thing is always, as somebody who's 30, what do I get out of sleeping with a 16-year-old? Your 16-year-olds are young, they're naive, and they're impressionable. I didn't know what I was doing, and I thought I knew every damn thing when I was 16 years old. I thought I was grown. And yes, I was messing around with people older than me when I was 16. Did it make it right? No. But there's a sense of immaturity there. But as an adult, you should know better to be pursuing somebody that young. So he said, consensual sex with a lot of people when there is a strong power differential, as there is when you're a famous man who has the ability to attract women, that I had at the time. I think it involves exploitation. I think it is exploitative. I recognize that my sexual conduct in the past, he said past, was selfish, and I did not apply enough consideration, barely any, I suppose, really, to how the sex was affecting other people. Well, at least he lacks awareness or self-awareness, because I do agree with all of this. He's saying all the right things. Now, do I believe him? That's another story. I feel like you probably saying all this because you're trying to save face because of this trial that's coming up. You thinking about going on Megyn Kelly. This is some good PR. This might bite you in the ass, by the way, because you openly admitted to this 6-year-old. But then when you add all this extra stuff that's in there, then they'll look at it like, well, he did say that he realized like a lot of things he did in his past was selfish, and he didn't take into consideration how the things he did to other people will affect them down the road. You were just getting some pussy and you thought that was enough. But and it's like you hit it, probably a hit it and quit it type, but not realizing that, especially when it comes to women, there is that emotional connection, which is why a lot of people say that men, and like when it comes to the gays, gay men, we could just go in and have sex with people, and it's not like a big, you know, we focus too much on the emotional aspect. Then there's some gays that are sensitive and getting their feelings, but for the most part, men can separate the emotion from the sex. Well, at least I can. So now, they said due to the UK's contempt of court laws, Brand did not elaborate on the allegations tied to the specific charges against him, including 2 counts of both rape and sexual assault. Shit, I was not supposed to use those words. The R word and SA, as well as 1 count of indecent exposure, but did not reiterate that he has had consensual sex with lots and lots of women. Did once upon a time, like even in his comedy or whatever case, remember when he was like the biggest thing on MTV love propping up the most annoying people on the planet. First of all, I liked Ali G more than I liked some damn Russell Brand. Russell Brand was always annoying to me. And I remember that one time they had him host the VMAs. He just made my teeth itch. And then on top of that, I just feel like, he always kind of had like this whole rock star persona to him, like the way he carried himself, very much like his look with the hair and the it kind of felt like the 60s or 70s kind of aesthetic that he would wear with his suits or whatever, or his outfits. Very much had like this whole glam rock look to him. Um, I just wonder if, with this whole situation, did he have like an addiction to sex? And it just didn't matter as long as he got off or whatever the case. I'm just like trying to analyze the whole situation and get in. I know it might be a lot and it might hurt for me to get inside his head and understand the psychosis of why you did what you did with especially if they underage. But I understand it's consent. But my thing is, just because you can sleep with a 16-year-old because it's the legal age doesn't necessarily mean that you should. It also makes me wonder that, yes, the law, but clearly a man wrote this because there's always this thing about men wanting to sleep with young girls. So of course you're going to make 16 the legal age. So that's kind of what it's giving. There's some old man misogynistic bullshit. Now, while he said he is atoning for his sinful past behavior, because like he shows up everywhere with a Bible now. Isn't this the MO what a lot of them do when they're accused of abuse and those other things? Oh, let me carry a Bible around. Let me do like John the Major did the same shit when he was going to trial for beating on that white woman, and then his career ended up getting ruined. So this is like an ongoing thing. Oh, let me carry the Bible. All of a sudden, I'm gonna find Jesus when I'm about to go to jail. Now, yeah, so while he said he's atoning for his sinful past behavior, he is assertively opposing the idea that this is a judicial criminal matter where consent was overridden. Actually, what happened was consent was directed. That's what's being famous and being, I may say, charismatic. Forgive me, affords you. Brandon also pleaded not guilty to all the charges against him. His essay trial is set to begin in October, saying, quote, in that trial, I'll have the opportunity, as will the people who feel wrong against, to achieve justice. And I have no problem in praying for absolute justice and the best possible outcome for everyone involved. So we'll see how this all turns out when we get around to that trial. But yeah, I'm side eyeing this whole damn thing. But my thing, look, I just feel like in this whole situation, you should have just went and did the trial and see if you come out victorious or vindicated in the end. But if I had fucked a 60-year-old, I would have taken this to my grave. Why are you even mentioning this stuff in public where people could use this against you? If you slept with a 60-year-old, yeah, if I slept with a 60-year-old, you would never hear from me. I would have never told y'all. But I've never slept with a 60-year-old because I don't feel anything, no pleasure in fucking a child. Yes, it may be legal, but they're still a child. So now, me at 16, if I did that, and I did tell y'all I did with somebody older, that's a different story. But me preying on a 60-year-old, no, never in my life have I done that. And if somebody ever comes out and says that happened, you's a goddamn liar. So, this whole situation was like, yeah, you should have taken this to your grave. Everything ain't for our entertainment. Everything ain't for our eyes. Everything ain't for our consumption. So, who knows? We'll see if this bites him in the ass when that trial comes around. Oh, he went on Megan Kelly and admitted he slept with a 16-year-old. Like I said, we're just gonna have to wait until the trial comes around and see how this all turns out. But in the meantime, I definitely want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story regarding Russell Brand coming out here spilling tea, saying that he hunts a 60-year-old in the midst of this whole R word trial situation that's plaguing over him, and he's about to begin that trial coming in October of this year. So whatever. When is October? What month we in? 6 months. So yeah, 6 months from now we'll be talking about this again. So in the meantime, I want to hear from y'all. Let me know what your thoughts are on this story in the comments down below.